Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can equally leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, 0277128777. Thank you. I want you to join me listening to what Sammy Gyamfi has to say about Bawumia comparing himself on the economy to Mahama. Thank you.
Do you know economics more than Bawumia? At least you guys said he was an economic wizard. Sammy Rabbi of any economy. Check what, Doc? He told us to check what? When you are in doubt.
I've forgotten.
About the health of any economy, Doc, let me remind you, he said, check the exchange rate.
Oh, now I remember.
And that is why he said, if the fundamentals of your economy are weak, what will expose you? The growth rate, the exchange rate. And so he told us that is the most important barometer for measuring the health of every economy. Look, in 2016, when we were leaving office, end of year, the depreciation of the cedi was 9.6%. In 2022, the depreciation was over 54%. Even now in 2024, the cedi has depreciated by more than 22%. Even in 2024. So I'm not just using 2022 figures. The rate of depreciation. In nominal terms, you needed just 4 cedis to get $1. You, at the highest level, even after the 2016 election, the dollar rose to 4.2 under Mahama. And you said that was a mark of incompetence. And you came in, appointed this man that, according to Akufo-Addo, had the magic wand to stabilize the cedi and to transform our economy. Don't forget that these are the same people who promised to transform the Ghanaian economy within 18 months. And don't forget that, according to Akufo-Addo, who is the president, the one who was going to lead that process was Bawumia. You recall his famous speech, Sidina Hata Hata. And after that, what did he say? He said, it is because of this that I have brought Bawumia to be my running mate. And he made him chairman of the economic management team. And he was the one who adored the so-called solid economic management team. Today, from 4 cedis, 20 pesos, you need 17 cedis and over to get $1. And you're saying that 17 cedis to the dollar is better than 4 cedis. I don't know who Ghana for. Such an insult.
NS says the Bank of Ghana says it's 16.2.
Who buys dollar from Bank of Ghana? You see the ignorance. Who buys dollar? You, if you're looking for dollar, will you buy it from Bank of Ghana? Those watching us who buy dollar from Bank of Ghana.
Okay, I'm noting.
The banks buy dollars from Bank of Ghana. But today, check all the banks. I just checked with my bank. I just checked with
Stanbic. In fact, that 4.2, let me ask, that 4.2 that was used, was it a Bank of Ghana rate?
It was not a Bank of Ghana rate. It was a black market rate. The Forest Bureau rate. You understand? The 4.2 was it has never been the Bank of Ghana rate. If you're talking about, look, don't ask me questions when I'm speaking. You're not the host. I beg you. I'm speaking to Ghanaians.
No, I'm just
with the moderation of the host. Don't talk when I'm talking. I beg you.
Just hold on. Ernest, you have the data. When it comes to 10, help me with something. You see, you cannot use 4.2. You cannot use 4.2 to analyze when the NDC and GM left off and decide to use Bank of Ghana today, because that 4.2
or even the commercial banks.
The 4.2 was not a Bank of Ghana rate. Yes. So let's be consistent.
Yes. So the commercial banks will tell you that we buy at 15.8. They can even say 15.4. We sell at 16.3, 16.4. Do they have dollars? They don't have some of the dollars. You can go there and buy dollars. So we are all buying dollars at the forest bureaus. And when Bawumia was giving those lectures of his, he was not using Bank of Ghana rates, he was using forest bureau rates. And I'm telling you that today, forest bureaus are selling dollar at 17.2, 17.1. The cheapest you get will be 17.0. Not too long ago, it even few days ago, 17.5. Those watching us know there are people who buy dollars on a daily basis. Few days ago. Yeah. And even as I speak to you, look, let me tell you something. He referenced a certain publication 2 days ago which indicated that the dollar has started appreciating. The CD has started appreciating.
The Bank of Ghana put some dollars in the system.
Yeah, Manjo Online did a story. Let me read it to you. Let me read it to you. Let me read a story to you. Manjo Online, 12 November 2024, 2 days ago.
Tuesday.
CD begins week promisingly, despite heightened demand pressures. $1 equals 17 CDs.
Yeah.
So Manjo Online is lying.
No, but they are rates. They are not using central bank.
That is the point, because no serious-minded person in today's Ghana will use central bank's rate or a commercial bank's rate when we all know that that is not the rate at which dollar is being bought in the market by businesses. That is the point. So if you look at that exchange rate, which according to Bawumia is the most important economic barometer for measuring the health of any economy, you have performed the poorest. You have demonstrated that you are incompetent, inept, clueless about economic management. You should not even talk when we are talking about economic management. It should even be haram for you to talk about the economy. It should be a taboo. Do you know what this has done to businesses? Look, if a businessman needed $10,000 in 2016 under John Mahama, what this means is that he only needed at most 42,000 cedis. Today, if he needs the same $10,000 without 1 cent more, $10,000, it will cost him $170,000 and over. In nominal terms, he has to cough up 128,000 cedis and over to get the same $10,000. You have no shame. You still want to insult our intelligence that this is better? Doc, if somebody had 100,000 cedis in the bank under John Mahama, that 100,000 cedis could get him over $23,000, 809. Let me even round it up to $23,000. Under John Mahama, if you had 100,000 cedis sitting in your bank account, you could buy $23,000 with it. Under these guys, you have 100,000 in your bank account, you can only buy $5,800. Look at how much you have lost. And that is why today businesses are collapsing, leading to job losses. People are getting high blood pressure. People are dying in the process. And you come and sit here. Instead of you to apologize, you are here saying that you have done better. Doc, another important indicator for measuring the health of every economy is inflation. The rate of increase in general prices over a period of time. Because in opposition, they made a lot of noise about inflation. You recall that Bawumia used to give lectures citing prices at Malata markets. In 2012, not even in 2016. Because in 2012, inflation had reduced under John Mahama as chairman of the economic management team and vice president. Inflation had dropped from double digits. You know that when Kufuor, you see, these guys, they are so dishonest and disingenuous. When he was talking about what Kufuor bequeathed to us, he spoke about growth rate. He didn't talk about any other indicator. He didn't talk about inflation.
We'll go there. He spoke about debt.
And the debt too. When Kufuor was leaving office, inflation was 18%. The Mills Mahama government brought it down to single digits and kept it as single digit for 33 months. Even with Doomsaw and with global market prices going up and all that, oil prices going up and it affecting the downstream sector and therefore price levels. At the time John Mahama was leaving office, inflation had reduced to 15.4% and was on a downward trajectory. Today, inflation is 22%. How can 22% inflation be better than 15.4%? Masa, what do you take us for? Don't forget that before inflation came to 22, it went to 54%. And he says, oh, why are you talking about that? Why shouldn't we talk about that? If you were so reckless and criminally minded that you got the Bank of Ghana to illegally print, please, Doc, tell him not to heckle me.
Use of abusive language.
It is not abusive to say reckless. And it is reckless when the Bank of Ghana Act tells you the amount of money you can borrow from the central bank so that inflation doesn't go haywire. And you decide to get the Bank of Ghana to print over 45 billion cedis for you in 1 year, 2022. And that causes inflation to rise to hyper levels of 54%. And according to the World Bank, it is because of the illegal printing of money that inflation went up to 54%. Then you have been reckless. And in fact, the Bank of Ghana Act says it is criminal to do so. And because of that, over 800,000 people were plunged into poverty, according to the World Bank. You can't tell us to forget that. We will continue to refer to that. But even the current inflation rate of 22% is not better than what President Mahama bequeathed to you. The man who was buying a ball of kenke in Accra at 1 Ghana cedis in 2016. And today he's buying the same ball. Why am I even saying the same ball? A shrink size kenke, a ball of kenke at 3 cedis. In some cases 4 cedis. In some cases 5 cedis. In some cases 7 cedis. You are saying that that person is better off today than he was under John Mahama with 22% inflation rates? What do you take us for? Doc, put inflation aside. The most important thing in measuring the health of every economy, the debt. Your public debt. And whether or not you are able to service your debt. You know, even for us as human beings, your bankruptcy or your solvency or insolvency as a company or as an individual depends on your ability to service your liabilities. If you can't pay your debt, you are bankrupt. Under John Mahama, with all the things you say about him, Ghana never defaulted on its debt obligations. We always serviced our debt obligations, both domestic and foreign. When John Mahama was leaving office, the public debt was 120 billion cedis. What was the public debt in 2008 when Kofo was leaving office? Around 9.9 billion cedis. And the reason why I won't quote dollars is because Ghana's debt is expressed both domestic cedis and foreign in dollars. But when it is being reported as a whole, it is reported in cedis. Because when Ghana is servicing its debt, we service it with cedis. So you can't be talking public debt and be expressing our total public debt in dollars. That also is flawed. And no informed person will make that analysis. So 9.9, please don't heckle me. 9.9 billion cedis under Kufo to 120 billion cedis, a nominal increase of about 110 billion. But that is not even the most important thing. The most important thing is whether or not that debt President Mahama bequeathed to them was sustainable. Yes, it was, because debt to GDP was 56.5%. And that is the most important indicator in measuring debt sustainability. Debt to GDP of 56.5%. Under you, the public debt is now 761 billion as at August 2024. By now, it has crossed 800 billion. In nominal terms, you've added over 580 billion to the public debt. In fact, why am I saying 580? Over 600 and something billion to the public debt. But that is not even important. The most important thing is that your debt is not sustainable. That is why in 2022, debt to GDP crossed 100%. It hit 104%, the first time in the last 4 decades. That is why under you, for the first time under this Fourth Republic, we have defaulted on our debt obligations. We are now a bankrupt nation. And he sits here without any shame to say that he is happy with the foreign debt restructuring. Really? Investors, are you listening to him? He doesn't even know that there are Ghanaians who buy Eurobonds. So when you hear that we are restructuring our foreign debt, you think it is only affecting foreigners? OECD countries? You don't know that there are Ghanaians who are holders of foreign debt instruments? You don't know that? The Ghanaians who bought Eurobonds, you are happy that they have lost their money. According to your own finance minister, they have saved $12 billion. You know what that means? $12 billion borrowed from individuals, some of whom were Ghanaian citizens and foreigners. Their hard-earned monies. In the case of Ghanaians, pensioners. You have deprived them of their hard-earned monies. Some have died. Look at the owner of Kama Conference Center, died painfully. And before he died, his last public outing, he was lamenting and crying about the monies he has lost as a result of DDEP. People are sick. They can't even get money to buy medication because you owe them money. You told them that you won't pay the money when you are supposed to pay. They should wait for 10 to 15 years. And you have reduced the coupon that you are supposed to give them. This is the first time something like this is happening in the last 50 years. In fact, in the history of Ghana. Because what happened under Echampo was different. Not that we didn't have the money to pay. He had. But as a soldier, he wanted to show bravado and say, I won't pay. Because the borrowed funds was spent on corrupt activities. This one, we are bankrupt. We can't pay. And people have lost their livelihoods. Their lives. And you are here. That, oh, it's a blessing and a curse. What is the blessing in this? Even for those foreign entities, the countries, do you know the damage this has done to the image of Ghana? Today we have been locked out of the capital market. We can't go to the capital market to borrow. The capital market that Cote d'Ivoire can go and borrow. Burkina being ruled by a military junta can go and borrow. Togo can go and borrow. We can't go there. You are not ashamed of yourself. You are saying, I'm happy with a foreign debt restructuring. The next time we return there, you know the interest will be getting. At what cost?
Because today, like you indicated.
At what cost?
Yes, that's
Should we have even gotten there in the first place? You borrowed Eurobonds, $3 billion every year, through Kenke and Wache parties to celebrate it at the Ministry of Finance. Wasted borrowed funds on the rental of private jets. Because according to you, the president had to bath in the skies. Wasted borrowed funds on the construction of a hall in the name of building a church for God. A church of evil. A church built on lies. You wasted taxpayers' money like that. And you come here, the taxpayer now has to pay for that through crude, painful financial haircuts. And you are here saying you have done better in managing the economy. When under John Mahama there was no haircuts, those who lent to government could go to sleep knowing that government will always pay, and in fact we always pay our debt obligations. Our credit rating was B-, not the junk status it is today, not the baller status it is today. And you are here comparing yourself to John Mahama. Monfere.
Thank you for staying to PENDREAM TV. Really appreciate your time. Please, if today being your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel before logging out. Turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified duly of anything that will hit on the channel. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.